Reminders.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. I'm Nikki McCutchen. I will be your co-host for this evening. We are just so thankful that you decided to join us on this call. Just know that if someone invited you to be on this call, they must really love you to want you to know about this technology. It is just changing lives, and it's so much fun to be a part of this and get to watch all of the things that it's doing for so many people. Anyway, so tonight it's going to be a 30-minute call. I am just going to go over the X39 patch, and then you can ask your questions. If you have a story to tell or something that you have noticed in yourself or in someone else, we would love to have you come on and share that story as well. But we will get started with our medical disclaimer. Tonight, what we'll be sharing is for informational and educational purposes only. If you have any medical conditions, please check with your physician or your healthcare practitioner. If you're pregnant or nursing, please check with them as well. All LifeWave products are not intended to treat, cure, diagnose, or prevent any disease. If you're on medications or have a medical condition, please also check with your physician first. So with that, we are going to get started, and I am going to tell you about this amazing little patch. Looks like a little Band-Aid sticker that you stick on, and it is completely non-transdermal. There is nothing that transfers from the patch into your body. It is a medical grade 1 device, completely non-transdermal. We are recognized and compliant with the FDA as a general wellness product. It how it actually works is, so it's sealed on both sides, so nothing transfers. Most people will think of a nicotine patch, an estrogen patch, a vitamin patch. All of those things transfer something from the patch into your body. This is completely sealed on both sides, working through light frequency. So we all emit a low-grade infrared light that comes out of our body at all places. So you all already actually know this, because when you look at the movies and you see them looking through those night vision goggles, and they can look through walls and they see these heat signatures, or through trees and they see animals. They call it a heat signature, and it has all these different colors. That is actually a low grade infrared light that every living being emits. And so when we emit this light, this technology works through photobiomodulation, which is just a big word for light making change in the body. So you also know what this is, because when you walk out into the sun and the sun hits your skin and your eyes, it tells your body to start creating vitamin D. And so that is actually the same process, only we are the light source. We are that heat source. And so our infrared light hits that patch, which is made up of a crystal lattice structure that is made up of stereoisomers. So at the molecular level of amino acids, sugars, salts, and those reflect back at a certain light frequency, telling certain peptides in our body to get up and get working. This crystal lattice structure is actually completely organic. So what that means is, when it's organic, is that it breaks down. It starts to naturally break down over time. So we always tell you 12 hours on, 12 hours off. 12 hours on to activate and repair. So when I get up in the morning, I put on my fancy little sticker that reflects my own infrared light, and it gets to work for me. And then when I go to bed, I take that patch off and then go to sleep. And the next day, I put on a brand new patch. So because after the 12 hours, all of our clinical studies, we have over 90 clinical studies, over 150 patents. Those all say that after that 12 hours, that organic structure starts to break down, which means we can no longer say that it's going to do what it has been tested and designed to do. But within that first 12 hours, it has been clinically tested and studied, showing that it will get those peptides up and active, moving to where they need to move. You can actually place it anywhere on the body. We do have clinically tested spots that you get a little booklet that shows you where you can put that on your body with those clinically tested spots. But LifeWave has been around now for over 20 years. And so we know that that infrared light comes out of your body at every place, meaning that you can put it on anywhere that you would like to on your body. So if you have a spot of pain or a spot that's bothering you, we just tell you to put it right on that spot. That is totally fine. So, like I said, 12 hours on, 12 hours off. So, more about how this works and what peptide it's activating. It is activating GHKCU copper peptide. So, that copper peptide, it gets that copper up and going. And this in particular peptide does so many amazing things in the body, many more than I'm actually going to list here for you tonight. But one place I would encourage you to go to see more of what it does. This man is the one who found it. He wrote this book, GHK Copper Peptides. His name is Dr. Lauren Picard. He found this peptide over 50 years ago. If you go onto his website, which is called reverseagingwithghk.com, you're going to see several other things that I'm not even going to talk about tonight that GHK actually does in the body, which you will be amazed and you will want to get this patch on your body as soon as possible when you read all of these amazing things. So the first thing one of the things that it does, which is one of the reasons why so many people, if you listen to any stories or testimonials as to why they get such wide range of results, is because it activates your own body's stem cells. So as we age, by the time we're 30, half of our stem cells have gone dormant. By the time we're 60, we only have 10% of our stem cells active any longer. So you can see between 30 and 60, all the things that start to happen with people, aches and pains, illness and disease, all of these things we start to experience. The reason is because those stem cells go dormant. So, in John Hopkins, one of their recent articles that they wrote was talking about stem cells, and it said the number one indicator of health is how many stem cells you have in your blood cells. So if we can activate a peptide that's already in our body and just gone dormant, that will tell those stem cells to get up and get marching again, this means that we can truly have not just anti-aging, but actual age reversal, because that's what those stem cells do. They keep us young and healthy and feeling well. Another thing that GHKCU does is that it activates and helps to support every part of your cardiovascular system. So with the cardiovascular system, that's your heart, that is your blood vessels, that's the lining of your blood vessels. So just imagine if we start supporting your heart and your blood vessels and the lining, all of the things that come with different aches and pains and issues that people have in those areas, for them to have completely natural support, a natural body process, no chemicals, no drugs to support their cardiovascular system. What kind of lives we can change because of that. GHK also helps with wound healing. So any type of surgery, scar, issue. I know Liana has shared with us before how she had a cesarean over a C-section over 32 years ago. That scar has completely remodeled and repaired itself. So this has scar remodeling properties as well, because it elevates the collagen in our bodies as well. So a lot of I forgot, I was going to read an article the other day that was talking about because most of the collagen products I've looked at, when they're very high quality, they'll have like 5 types of collagen with them. This one was actually talking about more, and I forgot that I was going to go in and read that before this tonight. But anyway, if the best that man can do is create collagen of 5 different types that we can take exogenously, when we actually have 19 different types of collagen in our body, if we can elevate that collagen from the foundation, imagine the type of rejuvenation that we can get in our skin, in our hair, in our tissue, in our ligaments, in the connective tissue. We have connective tissue all over our body that helps everything work and signals to go and to move. If we can support that collagen, just imagine the things that we can do with that, and is why people will get remodeling done in their scars to where you hardly ever see it anymore. The immune system. Obviously, everyone is concerned about their immune system, wanting to support their immune system. It's why lots of people take vitamin C, they take vitamin D, they'll take zinc, they do all these things to try to help their immune system operate properly. This in particular peptide supports your immune system. So we can put on this one little tiny patch and we can elevate and activate GHKCU in our body to help us have all of these different benefits. And again, like I said, if you go to that website, reverseagingwithghk.com, you're going to see all the other things that I did not even tell you about tonight that are so amazing about this peptide and what it does in our bodies. So the recommendation is with this product, with the X39, that you wear it 1 month for every decade you are old. It took you time to get into whatever situation that your body is in, whatever condition, whatever state you are in. This is completely natural. So we want to really encourage you to give it the amount of time that we are suggesting so you can really see what it will do for your body, which is 1 month for every decade you are old. So if you are 50, that would mean that you want to give it 5 months to really see how it's going to rejuvenate your body and what's going to happen to you in that 5 months. So some people may say, well, then after the 5 months, can I stop wearing it? And I'm going to comment, well, if you just want the natural aging body process to start taking place again in your body, then go ahead and stop wearing it. But if you would rather have a compounding effect to where you get more and more stem cells activated and regenerated, then I'm going to encourage you to continue to wear it, which is what I have done. I've been wearing it now for 18 months. I am so very thankful that I have a very long list of things that were going on with me that now have I've watched that regeneration process. I've watched the things happen quickly. I've watched the things happen over time, at about a year, just having some real amazing benefits with my back and the back pain that I've had my whole life. So to really watch that regenerate to be more like when I was in high school is super exciting because I love to be active. I love to do things with my kids. A couple of my kids are very inclined to athletics. And so we love to be active together. And I just want to be able to keep playing whatever sport it is that they want to go do. And so I'm super thankful for this technology to allow me to have my body in the kind of shape and repair that it needs to be able to do that. So I would love to answer your questions and or hear any kind of stories that you have for me of what you've noticed with this technology. So please raise your hand, type in the chat, unmute yourself, and let us answer your questions or let's hear your story. I'll tell you a real quick story from this weekend. So I did a patching event with there's a business here in town who decided, a local spa that decided to go ahead and carry this technology in their spa. And so they had a 1 year birthday bash. And so there was people coming through, and really it was so interesting to me because lots of 20 somethings, I always say kids. So I always feel bad because I'm like, these are adults, Nikki. These are not kids, but it's like my kids, these are what my kids' ages are. So anyway, these wonderful 20 somethings, I was shocked at how many 20-year-olds they're in pain. Like it blew me away. And so, they're standing there, they're looking at my signs. And so I'm asking, do you have pain? And like, yes, back pain, neck pain. So I would put the technology on them. And really, sometime I'm hoping that I do an event with someone else and these people would be willing to let me record them, because every single time the look on their faces when they can feel, and especially it's amazing. I mean, like it happens at all ages, but especially 20-year-olds, like it happens so fast. And it's usually just Eon. Like I'm just putting our anti-inflammation patch on the back of their neck or on their low back. Actually, I still will put it on. I'll start with Eon on the neck. But even just that one, even if they have low back pain, within seconds, like, I mean, their eyes, like, even if their personalities, like, if they're not very expressive, they're more introverted and more quiet, even then, like, the light of their eyes and like the shock that happens on their face, because they can literally feel the pain just coming out of them. It's just, it is absolutely such a blessing to have a technology like this to where we can truly help people with pain so very quickly. It's just really amazing. So that was super fun for me to get to see that this weekend. Anybody else?
I can share about my mother.
Yes, please do.
So, about little over 2 weeks ago, my mom was in bed and she was sleeping, and she tried to get up to go to the bathroom where her feet got tangled up in the sheet, and she fell out of the bed and hit her head on the edge of the wall, and had kind of like passed out almost, I guess, because the hit was so hard. And she woke up and it was blood everywhere. So I had to take her to the hospital. She got 10 stitches. It was very painful for me to see her go through that, but I was there for her. And as soon as we got her home, I put the patches on. So from that point on, as soon as I got her home, she had no pain. So she was amazed and shocked all in one. And from there, I think that's all it took was for her to feel what had happened, and then for me to patch her and be like, wow. From there, she was just patching herself every day. So, and it was pretty deep wound, and within 2 weeks, it has healed up. Like all you can see is a little tiny scar. It's not like really bad or raised up or anything. So I'm so thankful for this technology.
That is amazing. So how old is your mom?
My mom is 73.
Okay, 73. That is 2 weeks, y'all. 2 weeks of a scar on a 73-year-old. Like their repair systems. And if I remember right, Vicki, she was not using the technology before this, right?
No, she was not. She was not a believer before this. Like I
I
would
mean,
tell her my dad and all the amazing benefits, and it's going to help them with this and that, and they look at me like, okay, and then the next day I guess they're just like, they forget about it. So I guess until they actually needed it, they're not going to believe it. So I'm just
yes.
thankful that I was there.
Absolutely. That is huge. So, because when you're 73, like you have very little stem cell repair going on, and especially she hasn't been using the technology. So, for it to be 2 weeks, that is amazing. So, which patches did you use, and how did you place those on her, and how did you teach her to use those patches herself?
So I put the Eon on the third eye because it was hit right here in her like right on the front. So I
Okay.
had the Eon on the third eye, and then we did the ice wave on the temples because I just kind of thought if I had fallen there, what it would feel like and what I would want to relieve would be like the pressure and the inflammation and the swelling, all that
Mhm.
stuff. So I did that. I did the Eon ice wave, and then we did an X39 right under the chin, and then a carnosine on the back of the neck.
Okay. So, why did you choose an X39 here on the chin?
Only because she had had some dental work done recently also. So I just felt like I wanted to kind of cover the whole head, from top to bottom with the pack.
Yes.
Mhm.
That is awesome. That and why carnosine on the and why carnosine and then why on the back of the neck?
So carnosine is very good for rapid wound healing as well. And it was, close to the brain. So, carnosine is good for your eyes and everything. And oh, that's another thing. My mom had cataract surgery done just recently as well. So I just kind of wanted to make sure what she had done is going to stay good.
Yes.
So
Yes.
yeah. But she didn't have any pain, and I was shocked because just seeing her, like I had PTSD thinking, oh my gosh, she's going to be in so much pain. But to hear her tell me she wasn't in pain, like I was
Right.
shocked myself. I'm like, wow, I love
Yes.
that.
Yes. Isn't it? It's one of those to where we've been doing this for so long, and especially you, Vicky, you've really been doing this for a while, and it, we don't. It shouldn't shock us. Like we've seen all these amazing things, but then there are always situations where we're patching someone, and it still just shocks us that that is the result that they have.
Yes.
It's
I don't know if
amazing.
I was more shocked that she was really on board with the patches because she knew that it worked for her
Right.
now. But
Yes.
it's sad that it takes a situation like this for it to happen. But thank God for this technology because I don't know what it would have been like for healing and stuff.
Absolutely. And then tell me about her bruising. Like, was there any change in the way that the normal bruising process would have happened? Like starting out with, really black and blue, and then kind of slowly dissipating, and then down to that yellowish, right before it completely, heals up and goes away. What was her bruising like?
Now she didn't really bruise. All she had was a little like a goose egg up here, and then it kind of started to go down her face. And then the day after she had gotten the stitches, it was swollen like her nose and under her eyes. And then the third day is when she woke up with two black eyes. So it didn't
Okay.
even bruise up here on the head. It kind of
Yeah.
it felt, I looked at it and I was like, oh, and it just kind of looked like it was just kind of going down like that.
Yeah.
So it got under her eyes. Well, that day she got in the shower. I was there so I could clean the wound for her. And within an hour, I put the E on there, and within an hour, I could see the inflammation going down. And she said, I really think these tabs work. She kept looking at herself in the mirror. I think these tabs work. They're amazing. So, yeah.
So much. That is so great.
Now
Oh my
she didn't have
gosh.
any, none of the yellow happened.
Okay.
It just kind of, it was like, a little like right in, the crack of both of her eyes, a little underneath. And then
Mhm.
one of them kind of went to like the one cheek. And within 2 days, that was completely gone.
Yeah. And
She had to
and
have
that
no art, no
also,
yellow.
yeah, that's also amazing. So I witnessed that too when I had my Achilles surgery done. The fact, because normally, especially as we age, like, you know, my guess would have been without the technology, like everything would have been black and blue. Like my entire lower leg should have been completely black and blue. And it went like when it first injured it, and then I came right home and I put multiple patches all around it. And right before I put the patches on it, that little dark black bruise, it was starting in. And then once I put all the patches around it, that completely dissipated. I had no bruising until then. After the surgery, it went right to yellow. So the way that it removes that inflammation out of there for us to not have typical, bruising is just amazing to me, at how quickly the technology will do that. And especially in it, you said 70 what?
73.
73. Like her face should have not looked normal at all.
Yeah, I agree. I was not
So,
normal when I saw it, Pat, after I went to go pick her up. And then to take her, I took care of her like the whole first week because my mom is very squeamish when it comes to blood and stuff. She couldn't even look at herself in the mirror because she would like pass out. So I was like there for her every day, making sure her wound was clean, making sure, everything was good, had put the new gauze on, put new patches on every day, make sure she was taken care of. And then as soon as she got her stitches out, that's when she's like, okay, I got this.
yes.
So other than that, she was great.
Yes, that is just so wonderful. And just, it's so amazing when we have something like this for those that we care about, even if they haven't believed us, to have an opportunity to where they're just willing to try anything. And then to be able to help them like that. I mean, that just does my heart so good. And I know you were just over the moon to be able to help your mom. So that's
Yes.
amazing.
So thankful. And
Yes.
it was a pleasure to be with her for the whole week, but not considering the circumstances. But I tried to keep her mind off of things and got her laughing. I cooked for her, I cleaned for her, and I guess she was like, after a while she's thinking, what is happening? You don't have to do all this. And I'm like, look, you need to relax. You just had a major fall. Just sit there and let me help you. So yeah,
That's
I guess
so
that's where I get
awesome.
it from.
Yeah, that's awesome. And what a blessing to have you live close to where you
Yeah.
can do all of that and still,
Yeah.
still be there for your own family, but be close enough to take that time away. And what a
Amen.
blessing that you have in your family. I just love that
Thank you.
story so much. Yes. Thank you for sharing. Anybody else? We have a few minutes left. I think Margie's trying. I
Margie's
don't know.
trying. Let me help you, Margie. There you go.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, y'all know I cannot stay quiet. I'm sorry. I mean, but first of all, God is good, and
Amen.
you know, Nikki and I keep raving about my grandson. He had a fracture in his lower back, and for me, that was like, amazing. to see him, like, Nikki and I had talked about, they had told him that he wasn't going to be able to play football. And those two boys, that's their life. They've played football since they were, I think, 4 years old. And for me to see how we just patched him, I had product and I said, Shelly, we got to patch him, because people always think, oh, he's young, his body's going to heal. But they were already wanting to give him narcotics and all that, And so I said, Shelly, let's just do this, please. And so she let me do it. And 2 weeks, he was back and playing football.
Yeah.
So I got many other testimonies, but
That's
yes.
praise God for that.
But,
Yeah. That takes the cake, because to be told that you would most likely, so the injury is so bad that he is told that he would most likely never play sports again. Okay. Never. 2 weeks. So that's what I'm talking about when Vickie, was saying she was shocked. Like, the people that I've told about this, I've been like, listen, y'all, if I did not know this family, if I was not praying for this boy, I probably wouldn't believe this story that I'm telling you. 2 weeks. Like, this is like, God has designed us amazingly, wonderfully. We are fearfully and wonderfully made. And when we support his design, when we do the things the way that he wants us to and support his design, he gets all the glory. He does it. He allows our body to work the way that they've been designed. And we are radically changed because we have a scientist in David Schmidt who has just studied on how God does things and how he has made this world, and to figure out how he can then support that design. And it's so wonderful to be partnered with an organization like that, who is actively seeking and looking for the way that God has done things on this earth. So that we can have optimal health, because God has designed us to heal. So I love that. That's just all the stories just make my heart so happy. I love it so much. We have just a few more minutes if anybody else wants to share. I have one more story I could actually share. So I have been trying to figure out the headache, the headache and the migraine thing, like forever. And finally, this nurse put together a video that really helped me connect all the dots with Nikki Chan. That was just so good for me to really actually, I don't know what my disconnect was before, but this one finally had me do it. So I've been able to patch, like, within the last 2 weeks or so. We've had something weird going through here in Oklahoma. I don't know, change in pressure or whatever, where multiple people will have headaches or migraine. Like 4 days, 5 days, 7 days, 8 days, like they're just not, going away. So, I'm panicked. They're coming to me. Well, it's been 4 days. I'm thinking, oh, Lord. Okay, Lord, here we go. Like, make something happen. Like, how is this going to work? But her whole patching protocol that starts on these acupressure points in your hand with the ice wave, and then moves up the arm to, like, right here on each arm, tops of the shoulders, behind the ears, front of the ears, temples, and then here. 10 seconds on each spot. You go back through and do the whole thing again. I actually would make the person drink water, because a lot of times pain just can be lack of hydration. So hydration can help so much with pain. But, and I didn't say that tonight, hydration, including electrolytes, is huge for this technology to work, but any natural body process. Anyway, I was able to patch, and even my husband. So again, you guys know, my husband hardly notices anything, and he doesn't have pain. So just because of his test results, do we know that it's working? So I did that whole thing on a couple of other people as well as him. And like, all the situations. There was one that, because it was for the 4-day one, I got it down to about, 2. And then later that night, she was completely out of pain. So, because we figured out which spot she wanted the patches on, and we left the patches there. But that in particular protocol for headaches is really phenomenal, and understanding how to do it right. That was my problem. Moving in between the spots, which spots, how to go in order. And the 10 seconds is all you have to give it. So if you need that video, I'm happy to send it to you. So reach out to me and I can send that to you. So anyway, so yes, thank you all so much for joining us here tonight. If you were a guest tonight, please get back to the person who invited you to this call and let them know that you want to start this technology right now, like you're ready to get your patches and get your order in. But we are so thankful that you took 30 minutes out of your schedule to be with us tonight. And we just pray blessing over each and every one of you. Oh, and next week, I forgot to tell you. So next week, David is going to take over for me because there's several of us that are going to be on the LifeWave cruise. And so we are super excited to actually get to meet in person rather than just over Zoom for several of us. We are so thankful to David. I know he's doing several of the calls this next week. So for those of you that can join, please do. He's going to do a fabulous job. It's going to be so great. Support him, invite people to be on those calls and help them get started on this technology. So with that, we pray blessing over each and every one of you. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
God bless.
Bless.